Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to dive into a pretty wild framework for the cosmos, one that seriously challenges how we think about reality. An author has laid out this incredible journey through energy, spirit, and the afterlife, and it all starts with one simple but totally profound idea. It all kicks off with this one mind-bending quote that the author says came from a spiritual guide. Quote, "A body only seems to exist." Just let that sink in for a second. This single sentence is really the key that unlocks his entire worldview. It's asking us to wonder if this solid world we see, even our own bodies, might just be the tip of the iceberg of a much, much deeper reality. So, here's the big idea from the author. Our world of matter and stuff is just one slice of a much bigger cosmic pie. And to even begin to understand this other, more subtle world, we first have to get a handle on the different kinds of energies that he says make up everything. Okay, so to really get your head around this, the author suggests we need a new way to think about energy. He basically sorts everything, all the forces we know and some we might not, into three main buckets. And he kind of walks us through them, from the stuff we see and feel every day to something way more fundamental. So let's break down these three energies. This is super important because it's the foundation for everything else he talks about. It's how he explains the difference between our physical world and these other, subtler realms he describes. First up, what the author calls earthly energies. Just think of these as the direct physical forces we deal with all the time. He describes them as mechanical waves, like the sound of my voice hitting your ears, or an ocean wave literally pushing against the sand. They act on things from the outside. Simple enough, right?
Next, we get to universal energies. This is the whole electromagnetic spectrum. Light, radio waves, you name it. Now, according to the author, these are totally different because they vibrate molecules from the inside by getting their electrons all jazzed up. This is the stuff that zips around at the speed of light and basically weaves the fabric of our physical universe. And this brings us to the most important concept in the author's work, cosmic energy, which he also calls life energy. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. The author says this isn't just another energy, he says it is life itself. It's the essence of everything, and it doesn't travel through space and time like the others. Nope, it's just instantaneous. So check this out. This table really breaks it down. On one hand, you have physical energies that push and pull on actual matter. But life energy, as the author describes it, is a whole different beast. It's the energy of consciousness. It doesn't really mess with matter. It vibrates other life energies, and it's not stuck playing by our rules of time and space.
Okay, so we've got these different kinds of energies. What does that actually mean for reality itself? Well, according to the author, this fundamental split in what energy is creates two totally different ways of experiencing, everything.
Right, so we all get this. We live in a four-dimensional world, right? You've got width, height, and depth, and of course, time, always ticking forward. This is our home base. This is the reality we know. But here's the thing. Even our own science, like string theory, suggests there's way more going on, proposing as many as 11 dimensions just to make the universal math work out. And what the author finds really interesting is that his spiritual sources apparently agree with this, which suggests our day-to-day perception of reality is maybe a little incomplete.
And this is the absolute game changer in the author's whole idea. He argues that what truly separates things in the cosmos isn't distance. It's not about how many light years away something is. It's about vibration. He suggests that infinite worlds, different beings, entire realities could all be coexisting in the exact same spot, just vibrating at a different frequency.
Okay, so if reality is all about vibration, what happens when we stop vibrating in this physical world? What about the afterlife? Well, the author actually lays out this incredibly detailed map, and it's all based on this core idea of different vibrational levels.
So he describes this sort of progression, but he's super clear. This isn't about being good or bad. It's not a judgment. It's all about resonance, what frequency you're vibrating with. Level 2 is for souls still weighed down by heavy earthly emotions. But most people, he says, pop up in level 3, a paradise world. And as you go higher, it becomes less about form and more about pure energy, getting closer and closer to what he calls the source.
And he gets super specific about this level 3 place, which he calls Eden. It sounds pretty incredible, actually. No sickness, no aging, everyone's in their physical prime. There are even communities that reflect old Earth cultures, like Vikings or Polynesians, all living in harmony. And get this, travel is instant. You just think of a place, and poof, you're there. He says it feels just as solid and real as our world, but it just runs on a different, more wonderful set of rules. But here's the thing. The author isn't just talking about some far-off place you go to when you die. He's saying that this fundamental life energy, the stuff that makes up those other realms, it's right here, right now, and all of us can tap into it.
So if it's here, why don't we feel it all the time? Well, according to the author, it's because the noise of our physical world, the daily dramas, the stress, the anxiety, it's like static that blocks the signal. It's like trying to listen to a quiet, beautiful song, but we've got a TV blaring right next to us. Our focus on the dense, physical stuff drowns out the subtler frequency.
So how do we turn down that static and tune into the right station? Well, the author suggests things that probably sound pretty familiar. Practices like meditation, focused breathing, even just intentionally turning away from life's dramas. They're all methods for quieting the noise outside so you can finally start to hear what's inside. It's really all about finding that inner peace. And that really leaves us with something to think about, doesn't it? If we take the author's core idea seriously, that everything is separated by vibration, not by distance, it brings up a really powerful question for each of us. What are the thoughts, the feelings, the actions that we are resonating with, day in and day out? At the end of the day, what reality are you tuning your life to?